Hey there, my beautiful friends. So, I wanted to come on here and just kind of chat a little bit, share with something with you guys. But I am having a really, really good day. It's been a very emotionally charged day for me because I ended up having therapy today, which was something else. Well, I'm going to get into that. But basically, I had therapy today, and then I went out with my husband, and we went out to go get some food together, and then we went and walked around the mall a little bit, and today I kind of made some realizations today, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. I am also going to do a little bit of a video for you guys, not today's video, but I'm going to do an update of my bag, my Pokemon bag, because I did put some things in there, and I wanted to talk about it a little bit in a different video. Maybe in tomorrow's video we will do that. But basically, I ended up having a day today of therapy. We talked a lot about my trauma. We talked a lot about my self-esteem, about my coping tools, which I will get to in a video where I share with you guys my current coping tools. But one of the big things that we got around to was talking about how my disabilities and my trauma affect me in everything. And I also in this video want to address a common, I think, a misconception that generally happens among neurotypicals, or those without disabilities or without certain things. And I'm specifically talking about vision disabilities. So anybody who knows anything about me knows I have different various conditions with my eyes. I'm considered nearsighted, which means I struggle to see far away. I do have something called nystagmus. I have astigmatism. I recently discovered in my last appointment I have something called ocular albinism. So that's something that affects me, having nystagmus and all of these other things. And then I also have very high myopia, which basically means my eye is weird. And the nystagmus basically means that my eyes do this shaky motion. So that's why I have this. For anybody wondering, yes, this is considered a vision cane. No, I am not blind. Yes, I can drive. I may have vision issues, but I am not unable to do certain things. Now, my driving is very limited in how far I can drive, when I can drive, all of that. It is very much limited. So I only drive when I have to. But yes, I do use this because, like, stairs I have a hard time with. I have a hard time with uneven surfaces, things like that. So this comes in handy for that reason. No, I am not completely blind. No, vision canes are not just for people who are blind, completely blind. Anybody can use a vision cane, regardless of vision and how much vision that they have. If you have a certain level of vision loss, you can use a vision cane, and the different marks on a vision cane can mean specific things. Now, I'm not going to go into detail about how markings on the vision canes work, because I don't know every single one of them by memory, but there are canes to indicate low vision, there are canes to indicate total blindness, there are canes that indicate deaf blind. There's so many different kinds of canes that have different markers that mean different things. So, just for anybody wondering. The only reason, one of the reasons I'm holding this is because I have a couple of things on here that are like comfort items. This is very much a comfort item, but I also have this, which changes colors. It's a little thing. If you don't like color changing, or you're triggered by color changing, please look away in 3, 2, 1. So it changes colors. And I will tell you guys when this color changing thing is done. Right, so you guys can look back if you had issues with that. But yeah, this is color changing. I find it soothing. I can also have like different sounds on it, so it's like chirping sounds, wave sounds, things like that. And then I also have Shadow on here from Sonic. He is a comfort item. My husband got him for me, and now he lives on my vision cane. And this goes with me everywhere. I generally have it in my lap, or I have it on me. I don't always use it depending on where I'm at and who I'm with. So if like I'm with my husband, chances are I'm probably not going to be using this as much. If I'm by myself, I will be using it depending on the situation, depending where I am. But I do carry it around with me for that reason. There is a common misconception about that. I just wanted to address that because not everybody who uses one of these means that they are completely blind, or even means that they are unable to do certain things like drive. A lot of us can still do certain things. We still have some ability to retain vision in a certain way. I am one of the fortunate ones that still has a driver's license. Restricted, but still has a driver's license. Still managed to pass my driver's license stuff. Of course, I had to have medical documentation and all of this other stuff, but still. So, she wanted to address that. But outside of that, I had therapy today. We talked a lot about my trauma. We talked a lot about how I have a hard time using my coping tools because of stigmas, because of other things. And I'm learning that I don't have to be afraid of using my coping tools, and that at the end of the day, I have every right to be driving because I have my license. I can prove that I have the ability to drive. So there is no reason for me to have to be afraid of my coping tools. Same thing with my device. I'm actually going to put this down briefly. But you guys know I have an iPad, and I use my iPad as a communication device. I have Proloquo to go on there, and I do use it to communicate because, like I said, even though I am verbal, I do struggle with communication a lot, and there are times where it becomes hard to communicate, and so I use my iPad for that reason. So that's just something that I wanted to address. But yeah, in therapy, we talked a lot about that. We talked a lot about like where I'm at, the things I struggle with, how my past impacted a lot of things, and we talked a lot about like something called the tolerance window, which basically means how much you can handle. And we're working to try to expand my tolerance window and how much I can handle before I get overwhelmed, before I shut down, before I have a meltdown, before any of that happens. Like, how can I catch it before it gets to the point? Some tools, tips, tricks, things like that I can use. And again, one of those is using my coping tools that I have. So I will oftentimes, like I showed you guys, I will have that. And sometimes, depending on where I'm at, I may carry something like a little fidget, or something I can squeeze, or something that I can fiddle with. I have these dice, bigger dice. I also have the smaller versions of these kind of D20 dice that I use. So these sometimes will be in my bag. I also have in my bag as well, I have one of these Pinch Me Therapy Dough things. So I have two of these currently. One of them stays at home. One of them travels with me when I go anywhere. So I have that. But yeah, that is kind of the whole thing. And then obviously you guys know I have certain jewelry that I wear. So I have that. And then I have like my necklace that I use, which I actually don't have on today, but I do usually have a necklace around my neck that I wear, which you guys have seen in a video. I also have things like this that I can use for various different reasons. And I usually have like earplugs like this that I will carry around with me, again, because I find them helpful to have. Now, as far as what's in this bag, this is my bag that I'm using. And as you guys see, I have a couple of things attached on here. My inhaler for easy access, my little plush dinosaur, and then I have this, which has my sensory, my like, what I call my gemstones, my rocks. On this side pocket, I have a battery charger for my phone, and everything. And then we have the other side. Usually I carry like a water bottle with me. I don't actively know where I will have a water bottle with me, guys, just as a general rule. So that's something. So sometimes I'll have things like this. Other times I'll just have a regular water bottle. I then also keep in the main like front pocket. I have a couple of different things that I keep. So the first thing is I have EpiPens because allergies. I also have some napkins that I keep, and my drawing pencils. I like to have those with me as well, in case I am in a situation where I want to draw. In the other pocket, I have one other pocket. I have this little pouch, and in this little pouch, I basically keep my other dice in here, and then I have some like coins and other things that are comfort items that I can use for fidgeting that are smaller and not as clunky as these big ones. This usually lives in my bag. These dice, these three specifically, these ones do live in my bag, usually, depending. I mean, sometimes I'll take some of them out, but oftentimes I will keep at least one or two of them usually with me. I just took them out today because I was using them, but like I'll have like this, like something like that in my pocket or in my bag. So with that, we have my hat. If you guys have ever seen this, you will recognize this hat from One Piece. So I have this hat. I wear this pretty much all the time when I'm going out. I'll have it around me, or I'll be wearing it. If I'm not wearing it, like right now, it stays in my bag. Another thing that I generally have with me is this little pouch, which you guys probably have seen this because I have shared this before on a video. This is where I keep my Switch. As you guys can see, I do play it often, even at home, so sometimes it's not in my bag. If I'm playing it at home, obviously I'll take it out, but it does live in my bag. And then the other thing that generally will live in my bag is, like I said, my Pinch Me therapy dough. That is definitely something that lives in my bag no matter what. And then we've got the main compartment of my bag, and in the main compartment I usually have my cat headphones, and then I have my Sony headphones, but my Sony headphones need charging, so they're currently not in here. But we have these. And I also have a pair of Raycon earbuds that I use, but again, those also need charging. The next thing is this, and this has a thing that plays music and everything. It plays Brahms Lullaby. It's a little owl. I keep this with me. I also keep my little Cheshire with me as well. I just find them soothing and comforting to have. I have this positive message in a bottle thing, and they're little, like, what look like little pills, but they're not actually pills. They come apart, and they have little, like, positive messages inside of them. I do use those regularly. I have this little case, which is the Wiggles, and in here I keep my colored pencils and all the things for drawing and coloring. I also have my Pokemon Super Duper Extra Deluxe Essential Handbook because I am obsessed with Pokemon, guys. I love Pokemon. So I almost always have something Pokemon related in my bag. The other thing that I generally have in my bag is this, and this is my Pokemon cards. Pokemon cards. So that is also usually in my bag. And then I also have my Pokemon drawing book, How to Draw Deluxe Edition for Pokemon, because I am learning how to draw Pokemon. I don't know if you guys have ever known this, but I have a special interest in Pokemon, so that's that. And then the last thing, which I'm not going to try to take out, but it's my drawing book. I keep my drawing book in my bag as well. So that is the stuff that is in my bag pretty much all the time. I don't think there's ever really a time where I don't have all of one or all of these things with me. Like I said, there are some things that do vary depending, but most of the time that is the stuff that I keep with me. Like I said, some things I will take out, like this. Sometimes I will take out the dice. I will occasionally take out, but the rest of the stuff I usually keep in there, like my iPad, all of that. So anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you guys. Thought I'd give you guys a little bit of an update on everything and whatnot. So yeah, anyway, I love you guys so much. As always, remember, if you're going through it, you'll get through it, and remember who you are. And don't forget, it is okay to be yourself. It is okay to be different. It is okay to do what works for you, regardless of how it looks like to other people. Oh, I did forget to mention, the other two things that are generally in my bag is I will also keep these, like the calm carry is almost always in my bag, and then my little pet will usually be in my bag, but I have taken him out and I forgot to put him back in. So the calm carry is always in my bag in that first front pocket. So yeah, anyway, I love you guys. I will talk to you guys in the next video. If you have any questions related to anything, if you want me to talk about anything in more detail, let me know. I will be happy to at some point maybe go through and show you guys more of my Pokemon drawings, but for now, that's it, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. As always, remember, if you're going through it, you'll get through it, and remember who you are, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.